like to support the channel. Also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for what we're seeing right now. But Mom, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. Mom. Mom. Mom, we can look at it in a minute, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. Boys and girls.
Now, before we get started, I know the usual excuses that people would like to say, oh, but where's the father and where is this and where is that? I want to reiterate that this beautiful, bright, shiny example of a mother in the Black community decided that she wanted to do this in front of both parents and students. And she's doing this in front of, I'm guess, a representative of the school who is a Black man. So the Black man that is there, who is either a representative or some type of form of leadership in the school, this is how this Black mother, right, wanted to disrespect and act. So not only is she sending this message out to the other parents there that, hey, I don't respect him and I have a child and he's in the school system, so you shouldn't respect him either. But you also see young girls sitting there. What do you think that they're observing and they're getting directly from this? And the other thing I'm going to state as well, too, is that a lot of times when incidences like this happen, people like to say like, oh, but there's Black men there. How come they didn't stand up in order to fix the situation? How come they didn't try to insert themselves in a leadership position? Case in point, you do have a Black man and a Black woman there. That Black man obviously has somebody. He obviously has a home of which he protects, which he sees directly over, which he makes sure is working in some type of way, form, or fashion. There is no reason for that Black man to risk his life in order to straighten out a Black woman who can't even straighten out herself. What realistically should be happening is the Black women there should be taking out the time and the energy, right? Because it's a sisterhood and they should get that Black woman directly under control. There is no reason that a mother, a Black mother at that, should ever decide that she can act that way in front of the school system, in front of teachers, in front of parents, in front of other kids of the community. And women wonder why it is that you have such ratchetness, or as Pink Book Lessons states, such hyena type of behavior. And this is why. Because you have Black women like this in abundance in the Black community who act like this all day, every day. You have Black women that are directly a part of the family structure who are around kids every single day. And those kids absorb this energy and they think that it is A-OK to act in this type of manner, this type of way. This is why you got these young girls going directly to school and they're disrespecting the teachers. They're fighting the teachers. They're cussing at the teachers. They're throwing up the middle finger at the teachers. They're doing all types of delinquency in schools. Now, let me just reiterate, back when I was in school, you didn't have a lot of this going on with these young girls. This was not happening. Right? Because I know some people are going to be like, oh, but blame the single fathers. The fathers have a part. The fathers have a role. Back when I was in school, even if those young girls did not have a father, they weren't trying to be delinquent. They were on time to class. They were respectful to the teachers. They weren't fighting the teachers. They weren't getting into bow, gun battles with the teacher. They weren't trying to jump. They weren't doing all of this stuff that I'm seeing on social media at this moment in time in abundance. Right? And I'm talking about, I'm looking at middle school, I'm looking at high school, and even some of the years after. That's not what was going on. So the whole excuse of, oh, it's because the fathers, no. It's because they're learning this ratchet behavior from their mothers and the women in their family and the women of the community. Like I said, you got to sit up there and call a spade a spade. It is what it is. Like, it's amazing to me that whenever things like this happen and you have somebody who is in control of the situation, who is at the head at this moment in time, pay attention to my words, at this moment in time, the head of the situation. Because if a black man is not in the house, right, who's the leader? Who is the head of the situation? That would mean it would be the black woman, who is one of the main women out here who have gone on social media basically stating that they are the mother and the father, and that they love it when people give them happy Mother's Day and happy Father's Day gifts. Black women. It was no other type of cultural woman out here deciding that they wanted to take that on and be proud of having both of those roles. Nobody else. Even though I want to point this out again, statistically speaking, I've gone over this a multitude of times. Black men are the only ethnicity in North America that spend the most times in and around their children's lives. So again, the narrative that people want to sit up there and state where it's like, oh, black men are always running, black men don't want to be a part of the black community, this is why the kids are acting this way, and yada yada yada. Somebody's lying to y'all, and y'all keep perpetuating that lie no matter what type of evidence is directly in front of you, or you guys happen to drop out when I happen to showcase the information. Whichever it is, it's a decision where you decide that you want to ignore that information, or you don't want to comment about the information. So if you want to specifically talk about your situations and the father of the children that you have, how they're not in your child's life, then that's you and that other adult situation. Y'all need to be adults enough to basically fix that situation. Obviously, y'all not. So it is what it is, right? But don't sit up there and try to pin that on other black men just because the one that you chose ain't in your child's life. So like I said, going right back to the main topic of the situation, this beautiful shining example of a beautiful black woman in the black community who was a mother who was raising a child, decided that this is how she wanted to act in front of the school because her child didn't receive an award. And I promise you, and I still know to this day that people are going to still come through and try to say that it's 50-50, it's still the black father's fault, yada, yada, yada. When realistically, it's not. Because black women have autonomy. It doesn't matter if a black man is in a leadership position. What have you always heard black women say? They're still going to do whatever it is that they want to sit up there and do. It don't matter if you're married. It don't matter if you're engaged. It don't matter if you're in a relationship. Don't matter if you're co-parenting. It don't even matter if you're a stepfather. Any which one of those roles that a man could be in when it deals with a woman, at the end of the day, when it comes down to an argument, a woman will always say this: it's my child, not yours. I'm the one that carried it for 9 months. I can do whatever I want to do with my child. Like I said, that's that possessiveness as an object, not even a real person, just an object. So like I said before, I keep trying to remind men every single day that sooner or later you will have a conversation like this. It will happen sooner or later because it always does. Just trust me, I've been there and I've seen it happen. So, like I said before, the responsibility needs to be placed where the responsibility needs to be placed. And hopefully at a point in time before it's too late, black women will start to wake up and realize, and they will start to talk to their sisterhood or the people that are part of the sisterhood directly out there and get them under control, because y'all told us that can't no black man lead y'all. And I done gave y'all examples of black men in the black community who are in leadership positions, who have built things, but yet black women aren't flocking to sit up there and fall directly underneath their leadership. So like I said before, I'm looking at a whole bunch of excuses from people who don't want to take responsibility, acknowledgement of any of the situations where you have an example such as this in the position who is, I guess, quote unquote, the head or leading.